you're talking CPG, you're talking consumer packaged goods, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Kind of give little people what the acronyms are. Because CPG can be anything. CPG can be anything. I'm a techie, so CPG can be, well, we're not going to get into that really. But regardless, so looking at your resume on LinkedIn, if you want to check out George, you can definitely find him on LinkedIn. And you can see some of the different positions that he's had. But just out of curiosity, now, I see you started off, as you said, as an MBA intern, then you rose to an associate, then to a premium sales specialist, and it just seems like you kept rising and rising in the NBA, and then you landed over at the Brooklyn Nets. So how was your time at the Nets before you actually went back to the league at corporate?
Sure. So, like you said, I was an intern. There was like 30 interns. I was about one of 3 that came back full-time. Then came back as a associate and really learned a lot at the league level. But when I stopped and went back to business school, while still focusing on sports, I wanted to have a kind of deeper understanding of how the industry works as a whole. So the reason I targeted the Brooklyn Nets internship, specifically in their global partnerships group, was because, the teams are like really the front lines of sports. Most people, when they think about working in sports, they think about working for a team. 9 times out of 10, they're probably thinking about being like a GM or something like that. But as far as sports business goes, understanding how the teams really operate, how that rolls up into the league was intriguing to me. And it gave me a much deeper understanding of how the league works as a whole, just knowing how team markets work, how they do deals, how they add value to partners, how they really touch the community in the different regions. I mean, teams have very different personalities based on the markets that they're in. And it was a really eye-opening experience to be with the Brooklyn Nets, and it gave me just a much deeper appreciation for what they do, and I can bring that perspective back to the league level now that I'm back with the NBA.
Gotcha. Now, since you've been back with the NBA, you've been a manager of business development and operations, and then you rose to a senior management, within the same area. So what is the new title that you just recently rose to?
So now I'm the Director of Business Operations for the NBA Development League specifically. So basically, within that role, we focus on, well, first of all, for those that are familiar, the NBA Development League is the official minor league of the NBA. It's a property that was definitely of interest to me because it's in heavy growth now. It's experiencing a lot of expansion, and there's phenomenal leadership really leading the charge. With like my boss, he started companies, he's sold companies, and he's successfully brought companies through growth before. So seeing the vision that he had for this property and the aggressive growth that's experiencing now is something I definitely want to be a part of. So now within my role, we primarily focus on our strategy as it relates to sponsorships, overall marketing, how do we tie it back into the NBA storyline, our digital placement and social strategy. Really same storyline as far as sports business, but on a lesser known product within the NBA family.
Gotcha. Now, you said 2 words that are definitely in my wheelhouse, so we're going to jump into those in 1 second, and that's digital and social. So me being a techie, tell me a little bit about how digital is being impacted on the development league side, being a minor league of the NBA, because the NBA itself seems to be very well finessed in digital and connecting with its customer, connecting with the sports enthusiasts. How does, D-League do the same thing, through digital and social?
Definitely. Well, like I said before, the NBA really is, pretty mature product in the domestic space, and for the most part, the biggest opportunity lies on global growth and outreach, and digital is a big part of that. For the NBA Development League specifically, that digital growth, it hasn't really reached its full maturity yet, so right now we have the opportunity to, connect with core NBA fans and try to gain new fans by, leveraging our footprint on places like for example, all of our games are broadcast on Facebook Live, and that's been a great way for us to tie in the storyline from the NBA teams that are affiliated with NBA Development League teams and grow the footprint. Really harnessing and trying to tweak our mobile app to make sure that for those fans that get exposure to it or who come across it, that they really see that the Development League is not only a product, but it's a product attached and affiliated with the NBA, how it supports the NBA, and, again, to really just draw that connection for everybody to understand what role it plays in the overall family. So those have been two of the bigger opportunities, and, of course, our web presence. But the biggest opportunity right now lies in how we connect with the fans, and a big part of that's been through the Facebook Live platform this season.
Okay. That's great to hear that, being one of the young brands, within the NBA family, that you are focusing on connecting with the fans and with the end users in a social way and utilizing tools like Facebook Live, because Facebook Live in itself has, changed how businesses operate, especially how people connect with millennials. Now, is millennials something that really clamor to the Development League because it's new, it's fun, it's fresh, or, does Development League just automatically garner those millennials?
Millennials are important because they're at the forefront as far as those who are consuming, data through these digital channels. And obviously that's starting to snowball into other age groups, but for the most part they're leading the charge. So if that's the place where we're trying to grow the quickest, then that's where we're reaching first. But from what we've seen, there's really two buckets. You have your fans that are in local markets who are just fans of the team and can actually attend games, and depending on the market, that age group can vary. And then you have those people who will never live in a Development League market and probably never attend a game live, but they still want to know, how does their favorite NBA team's Development League team tie into the overall strategy and growth and performance of their NBA team, and they want to watch games. Maybe their favorite NBA player happens to be playing a game in a Development League game, and they want to know where they can consume it. So really trying to put ourselves in a place where we can be accessed and you don't have to go hunting for the content has been a goal for this year, and really just trying to take the key learnings and best practices from that to take it to the next level and really grow our footprint and, again, show the connectivity to the NBA.
Wow, that sounds amazing, because it not only seems like it's opening up doors for other technologies to pretty much be introduced to the Development League, but it also allows for individuals who are far away to be a part of it and still get the same experience if they were there. So what are some of the things that you love about, let's say what are the top three teams that you love in NBA and the top three teams that you love in D-League? Kind of work and fun at the same time.
Man, I can't play favorites. We love all our teams. We want to support all our teams equally. And
George. What is George like? What are George's top teams? I know the Cavs is in that 1, 2, 3 on the NBA side. I don't want to say it's a 3. I don't want to say it's a 1 or a 2. But what are your top 3 favorite teams?
Hey, I'm a native of Cleveland, and the Cavs had a strong historic year in 2016, and my family was happy about that, and it's great storylines for the league, and that's a beautiful thing. But as far as teams going to top 3, every team has the potential to be great, and that's what I want to see, and especially for Development League teams, any teams that really kind of break the ceiling as far as exposure goes, and becoming more mainstream. That's a win, and they're all racing each other to try to be that first team that really gets that type of notoriety, and be that through the players that are on the roster, or just how they connect with core basketball fans, and really any other channels that can help make that connection to fans.
Okay. Well, I'm never going to get out of you, these other teams, but I know the Cavs are your favorite. So, did you see the Christmas game, the Cavs against the Warriors? What was your take on that?
It was a great game, down to the wire. Again, you couldn't ask for a better matchup as far as a better competition, rather, just because obviously Christmas Day games are pretty important part of the season and marketed and hyped up, and it was nice to get a competitive game with two of the I guess teams kind of at the forefront of storylines in the NBA. So I thought it was a great game.
Gotcha. And the thing that people don't know about D-League is that you don't miss out on any of your favorite NBA things. They still have, all-star events. They still have championships. They have, drafts. So you don't miss out on any of the things that you think you might because it's just a development league. So when you get a chance, definitely, for those who are very interested, go online and go to dleague.nba.com. So it's just the letter D, not like D-E-E, but D as a letter like David, and league.nba.com, and you can learn more and also check out the franchise map. But, George, let us, hear where we can learn more about you and, anywhere else that we can learn about any of the upcoming things that's exciting with the D-League.
Sure. Like you said, we have an all-star game and a slam dunk contest and three-point contest during NBA All-Star Weekend, which is coming up. So, look out for the growth of the league. And as far as contacting me, like you said, my LinkedIn is out there. So George Wilson. Not really sure my LinkedIn handle is, but
I think it's George Wilson II. I mean, it's unique. So
there you go.
George Wilson II at LinkedIn. All right.
Yeah,
all right.
You'll
well, George, you'll find him anywhere on LinkedIn, and he will greatly be, appreciative of connecting with you. But more so, definitely check out D-League on dleague.nba.com. George, thanks for stopping by right here at Black and Fries with Nathaniel J. We'll see you soon.